Hey everyone, it's Hugh Sweeney here, and today I've got a review of this fabulous monitor that's behind me, the BenQ SW270c photography monitor aimed at photographers and video editors. The BenQ SW270c arrived on my doorstep and it came in a lovely big cardboard box, and I unboxed it, and I've never seen so many cardboard slots in my whole life. I was paranoid when I was ditching it because I thought I might have left some vital component of the monitor in there, but luckily I had it all, and kudos to BenQ for making the box so cardboardy. When I unboxed it, of course, I got the actual monitor itself, the stand, the neck part, the sun hood came with it as well, which I'll get to soon, and various cables, 2 HDMI cables, a display port I think, and USB-C cable, as well as a CD. Are we still using CDs? And most importantly, this little fella here, the actual puck, their next generation puck, which I'll get to quite soon. So that was everything in the unboxing. Assembling the SW270c monitor was swimmingly easy. It all went together beautifully. The base connected with the neck, and you just tighten the little screw there and it pops on, and then you just snap on the monitor itself and you get this very satisfying click. You know it's going nowhere. The monitor adjusts up and down by an easy spring system. You literally just hold it there and slide it up and down to match the height of your primary screen. The sun hood is easy to install as well. It's a nice sun hood. It's got that lovely black velvet on the inside and it clicks together nicely. You can also configure the sun hood for a vertically mounted position as well, should you be using it that way. You just take a section of it out. Now, I'm not really in a position here to use the sun hood because of the angle that I have the monitor at. If it was my primary monitor sitting here on the desk where I had a MacBook Pro connected to it offset, I would definitely probably use the sun hood. But in this case, I'm just leaving it as is because I've nothing on the main screen here as well. Overall, I think the build quality of the BenQ was rather nice. It's finished in a sort of a satin finished, slightly textured plastic grey. There's a lovely narrow bevel on the monitor as well. You're not looking at a large area of plastic surrounding it. The glass comes right up to the edge of the screen. There's only about 1/3 of an inch there, about 7 or 8 millimeters of spare space until you get to the edge of the monitor, which would mean that if you were using two of them side by side, you'd only have a little bit of dead space. It's got extra connections on the back here as well. It works as a sort of a USB hub as well. There's 2 USB-A type connections. It's got an SD card reader in there as well, should you want it. The base is quite large. It takes up a little bit of desk space real estate, but that mightn't be a problem. At least you know it's good and secure. And the monitor itself swivels on the base. The base stays fixed, unlike, we'll say, an iMac here, which moves the base as you move the monitor. So it's very sturdy. Now the handle at the back sticks up quite a bit above the monitor, particularly if you have the monitor set low, but I think it kind of looks nice. I don't know, there's something kind of funky about it. Now when I unboxed it, it came with this guy right here, which I know very little about. I'm not going to lie to you. This is the calibration report, showing the color gamut, showing the Dicon curve results, should you want to reference it. So the puck is their generation 2 puck. It connects to the monitor via a USB cable. Now it's got that old USB connection. I don't know why it's not a newer USB-C type connection, but there could be a reason. The puck is very nice. It's got 5 buttons on it, 3 of which are shortcuts to your favorite color profiles, which you can customize yourself. And it's got a center dial as well, which is quite satisfying to use. It's very nice quality, and it just sits there on your desk, and you can load it back under the monitor if you're not using it. But I have it just sitting there, and I like to toggle through different color profiles just to see how my edit looks, or my photo edit, or my color grade looks. in Adobe RGB, sRGB, or even black and white. Just clicking on the center knob of the dial, it'll take you right into the menus and you can just spin around there, and within seconds you'll sort of figure everything out. I didn't really look at the manual yet, I just knew from looking at it what way to select it. So you can customize the center dial as well to do different things for you. You could have it as volume. I have it set to brightness because that's the most convenient thing for me, because this screen keeps constant brightness as opposed to my iMac Pro screen, which varies the brightness depending on the actual brightness of the room. You can also customize the buttons on the dial as well to select between different color spaces, and you can customize your own color spaces. You can customize your own settings and put them in as shortcuts as well there. And you have 3 options for shortcuts, which, let's face it, should be enough. If that's not enough for you, you can just toggle through the different color profiles via the actual center dial of the puck. Now, if anything was to happen to the puck, you can do exactly the same thing with the 5 buttons on the bottom right of the screen. It's just going to be a lot less handy. It's completely plug and play with the Mac. You just literally connect it up via the USB and it's absolutely instant. If you're using a MacBook Pro as well, the USB-C will power the MacBook, so you can just connect it up, one simple lead, and you're in business. When I unboxed the monitor and set it up, the first thing I noticed was the screen and the lack of shine that you have on the likes of the iMac Pro. There's a nice satin finish on it, not too glossy or matte, and it's quite pleasant to look at the screen. It's an IPS backlit display. It's viewable from different angles. You can look at it from different sort of sharp angles, and the color and all that remains the same. When it comes to brightness, I don't know offhand what brightness technically the SW270c outputs. I found myself pushing the brightness up to the max all the time. Now, it's bright enough for my room here, but if you were working in a very bright room with lots of daylight coming in, you will want to consider the sunshade. And it's 27 inches. Now, is 27 inches big enough? I think it is. I actually think it's a perfect size, 27 inches. If you were sitting at a desk where it was quite a bit away from you, a couple of feet away, 3 or 4 feet away from you, maybe a 32 inch would be a better option, but I honestly think 27 is loads. It has a resolution of 2560 by 1440. So it's what you call a 2K display. It's hard to know if 4K would be better for me here. I'm quite a distance away from it, so the resolution that it is fine. And for the type of work I'm doing, I don't need 4K. I don't really need that extra resolution. And this version of their monitor, this is the newest monitor, and as far as I know, there isn't a 4K version of this exact one. It's also a HDR capable monitor as well if you're playing back HDR devices. Not something I've tried yet. I'm not sure if it's something I will need, but it's nice to have it, isn't it? The SW270c has 10-bit color, 99% Adobe RGB and 100% sRGB. Now, I have noticed a slight little color difference between my iMac Pro and the monitor. I've noticed that sRGB is quite green looking on the monitor, and I said to myself, why is it so green? The reds seem a little bit dead, and I'm saying to myself, why is sRGB like that? I'm not exactly sure why it's looking like that. I'm wondering if the calibration is accurate. Do I need to get it calibrated? Maybe I should. Now, it is a good idea to calibrate the monitor, and some guys will say that you calibrate the monitor to suit your surrounding ambience, your light ambience in your room. Now, there's loads of vids on YouTube that you can search for to learn how to calibrate your monitor like this. So who is the BenQ SW270c Photographers Monitor for? I think it's for sort of just general all-around image editors, photographers and colorists, video editors. I think it's perfect for us guys. It's great for designers. They have Pantone accuracy there as well, which is a good thing when it comes to designing for print. It's moderately priced at 800 euros there or thereabouts, about $800. So it's not going to break the bank, especially if you're using it with a laptop and it's your main monitor. I think it's quite good value. So bottom line, I actually quite like this monitor. When BenQ were sending it to me first, I was saying to myself, would it be useful? And now that I've it set up and I have this lovely full screen preview, particularly in DaVinci Resolve and also in Lightroom as well, but mostly Resolve, it's where I do the lion's share of my work. Now, it's great for those grades where you're doing more detailed type of work, like choosing the color picker and doing selections and stuff where you really want to see the exact thing that's going on. And sometimes I've noticed before that when I'm just previewing in the smaller window, a lot of the times I get lazy and I don't do a full screen preview. And when I bounce out the movie, I see all these unwanted sort of pixelated artifacts where my color selection wasn't done accurately and there was little distortions happening there. But now I've got a full screen and I can just look at that as I play it back. And it's just lovely having more real estate. Sometimes when you're grading, it's a good idea first to do it in black and white, not to introduce any color at all, just to see how the tonal values of the image compete with each other and to get your contrast and brightness accurate before you even look at color. So with the BenQ monitor, you can just press one button and boom, you have a black and white image without doing anything to the actual image itself. With Lightroom, an application I use quite a lot, it's lovely to have the second reference point in full screen as you toggle your images. And because the monitor is 2K, it punches in a little bit more and it gives you a little bit more zoom power. And a lot of my images are output for web, so the resolution isn't that high. So it sort of gives you a good reference point of how it's going to look without kind of falsely giving you detail that a 4 or 5K monitor would. So that's it for the BenQ SW270c monitor. I will say that I'm quite fond of it, and it's going to be positioned here right beside my iMac Pro for the foreseeable future. So that's all from me until the next video, which is coming soon, I should hope. Thank you for watching, folks, and it's peace and take care. And don't forget to subscribe. Smash that bell. I would never say that. That's so annoying when YouTubers go, smash that bell. Just click on the bell and subscribe. That's all you gotta do. Send me some chocolates in the post for Christmas.